I do have Colonel Rajyavardhan Rathore, India's Information and Broadcasting Minister, joining us right outside, inside from actually the BJP headquarters. Colonel Rathore, it's a day of reckoning as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party in Uttar Pradesh is concerned. I'd like to congratulate you and your leadership, and what a stupendous performance in Uttar Pradesh it has been. Who would you attribute this success to, other than the fact that the Prime Minister led a very, very spirited campaign? Was this Modi's election, and has he delivered the victory for you in Uttar Pradesh? And what a tsunami this has been.
I've not been able to hear you clearly, but let me just start by saying that it's a referendum of on how the Prime Minister functions and how he's brought governance, better governance to the whole country. Right from, and it's not a result of the last 2 months of campaigning. It's because of right from 2014. The opposition had been constantly taunting us ki kahan gaye achhe din. Achhe din is not a destination, it's a process. It will continue. It started from the day we came to power. And it's because of right from 2014, the way the Prime Minister has been working here, the way the entire government has been working here, and also how the campaign started in 2014 when Amit Shah ji took charge, and right from 2014 we started working in UP. Now look at the entire, all the states that are the results are coming today. Everywhere we are coming out very, very strongly. It's purely a referendum on the way the Prime Minister functions and on our Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas.
It's purely a referendum on Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. However, I'm tempted to ask you a quick question before I throw it open to my panelists to ask you questions as well. What does this victory in Uttar Pradesh, and I want to point out other elections to you in just a bit, but what does this victory in Uttar Pradesh mean for your senior leadership, your government, the parliament here in New Delhi? Of course, other than changing the complexion of Rajya Sabha, which it will in your favor now.
Well, do pardon me if I'm not precisely on answering your specific question, because I can barely hear one or two words of yours. So I heard something like UP, and I heard what would it mean for the leadership. I guess it's immensely encouraging for our party leaders to know that we are moving in the right direction, and also we thank the people of Uttar Pradesh that they've had the sense of belief in our leadership. And also the sort of work that we are doing. It will certainly strengthen the party, and it'll today you see Uttar Pradesh totally in saffron color. You'll see in 2019 the entire country will be in saffron colors, and it's not because of any other reason but for bringing better governance beyond caste and creed and religion to every person in this country, to make India what India used to be many thousands of years earlier, to make it strong. And that strength has to come to each and every family, irrespective of what religion, what caste you belong to. I guess that's what the result brings to the leadership.
I agree, and I understand why you can't hear me, because the Prime Minister is expected at the BJP headquarters, and there is a huge applause for him, and I'm sure there is huge celebration. And while you will become a part of that celebration, you must take on the questions as well. Let's just turn focus quickly to Punjab. What went wrong there? I mean, the fact that Shiromani Akali Dal was never supposed to do well was a foregone conclusion. Do you believe the BJP, given the sweep that we are seeing across in Uttarakhand and UP, would have been better off had you fought Punjab on your own?
Sorry, there's somebody. So I could again hear Punjab. You see, in Punjab we've been in power for 3 consecutive terms. So I guess perhaps the people wanted a change there. This also, in a way, is not so much for the Congress, but for Mr. Amrinder Singh there. So let Congress not take credit for it, and they'll be in for a surprise very soon if that be so. But I guess that's that.
How do these elections read as a referendum on Prime Minister Modi? Because a lot of political commentators and observers did say that this election is going to be a referendum on the government's midterm. It is going to set the agenda for the next few elections. I'm talking as loudly as I can, Colonel Rathore, and I hope you can hear me. I'm really shouting in the studio. I really hope you can hear me. But what does this victory really mean as far as the Prime Minister's term is concerned, the tenure of your government? Is this a referendum on Modi? Is this a referendum on demonetization? Is that how your party is reading it?
No, as regards the referendum on the Prime Minister, even in Punjab, all the people who went into Punjab and the Congress will vouch for it, their teams went there, everyone said the Prime Minister's brand value is just the same in Punjab. The vote pattern that's happening in Punjab is very localized. The people of Punjab are entirely with the Prime Minister.
How does this verdict from the state assembly elections set the stage for the big finale in 2019? And if I may also ask you a quick question, as ET now would want to know, is this going to perhaps revitalize the economic decision making, the reform process here in New Delhi?
It's a positive referendum of all the reforms that are happening here. The people see the steps that the Prime Minister is taking. Say, for example, even in the form of corruption. People have known corruption has existed for a very, very long time. Why did not a single Prime Minister take action against corruption? Here they see a Prime Minister that they, they realize that this is the Prime Minister, this is the kind of Prime Minister that they would want. That's what they see in Prime Minister Modi. And when he takes actions against corruption, people see that as their own steps. That's the strength of the Prime Minister. When we carried out surgical strikes, the people of this nation are very strong. They saw a Prime Minister he was ready to look into the eyes of the enemy and say, you dare not look at India. That's what the people want. They want a strong Prime Minister, and that's what Prime Minister Modi is.
Good point on surgical strikes, which we haven't mentioned.
Mr. Rathore, isn't it a problem, this is Sagarika here, isn't it a problem that your party is placing all its eggs in the Modi basket? The fact is, it's Mr. Modi who's campaigning in Bihar, it's Mr. Modi who's campaigning in Uttar Pradesh, it's Mr. Modi who, on the strength of his own persona, is being able to win state after state. So does it mean that as a campaigner and as a leader, you're making in a way the same mistake that the Congress made under Indira Gandhi? Indira Gandhi was the only leader of the Congress. She was the only one who could go to states and campaign. She was the only face of the party. Is that a potential danger for your party, that you're becoming over-reliant, in fact completely reliant on the persona of Narendra Modi, impressive and seductive as it is?
When the buck stops at the Prime Minister, shouldn't he also take the credit for it? And as regards, even if you see the results that are coming now, I'm sure you would appreciate that right from 2014, the planning that went into it, how Amit Shah took charge of Uttar Pradesh and how he placed his people there, and how for the last 2 years people have been working there. Don't forget that part. So it's the face is the Prime Minister, but it's the entire party, it's the entire team that's been working tirelessly with a fantastic plan. We've gone beyond caste and creed. We've been able to penetrate that. UP politics was known right till now only for a couple of castes there. We've gone beyond that. How were we able to do that? That was because there were team players down right at the grassroots level who delivered.
Colonel Rathore, there are detractors of yours, and especially the Congress party, for instance, has constantly gone back to the point of how these elections were polarized. How are you going to shut up your detractors today? Or do you believe these elections were polarized and they are the political reality of this country?
No, that's simplifying it too much for your own understanding. We've been able to go beyond caste. We've been able to do beyond the various segments that divide Uttar Pradesh, and we've been able to bring up people from those communities to fight the elections. We're giving them representations to come and represent their segments in the assembly. So how do you call it polarization? If at all there is polarization, it's only towards development, towards the fact that there's one party, there's one leader who has the confidence of every citizen of Uttar Pradesh, or for that matter every citizen of this country, that this person can bring a change. The polarization is for that, if at all.
I was essentially referring to, sorry, Swami, go ahead.
Case, why was there not a single Muslim candidate put forward by the BJP? I mean, if you're talking about inclusiveness and, religion don't matter, this was a divide which absolutely stood out glaringly.
Right. Rathore, you want to come in on that? Why did you not put up a single Muslim candidate if you say that there was no polarization along religious lines? Because that did stand out very clearly.
The point is to bring about development to every house. The point is not to put every religion into the team. Tomorrow you will question as to let's have representations from every religion in the Indian cricket team. Come off. So the point is, we will bring development to every segment of the society. That necessarily does not mean that the team players in the team itself will be people from different religions.
Colonel Rathore, if I may also very quickly ask you, while we're going to keep religion aside and we're going to talk about the big picture once again, the big picture as it adds up will change the complexion of Rajya Sabha, not immediately, but there will be a change going forward. Rajya Sabha has been the big stumbling block for the BJP. And I'm going to go back to the question, I may sound a little repetitive, but what sort of policy changes will we see when the Rajya Sabha is more in your favor than it has been in the past?
I'm so sorry. In the entire process, I've been able to hear just a few words here and there. I've been trying to answer. Right now, I could just hear Rajya Sabha. So, well, it will make a lot of difference. People want development to come to this country. People want a change to happen in this country. And perhaps people also realize that unless you have both the houses which are in sync with the Prime Minister, the entire development will not happen. So perhaps this is going to strengthen that bit. Thank you so much.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.